Did you know there are tiny microcrystals buried deep inside the middle of your skull? And in this short video, I'm going to share the secret as to why this can change the very trajectory of your life. Because once you see the reason why those microcrystals are there, you'll have the key to unlocking a limitless flow of abundance into your life. Because the truth is, you come pre-programmed with the ability to manifest abundance. And the key to awakening this ability all depends on these microcrystals. So in this short video, I'm going to share how India's ancient Illuminati, the 9 unknown men, held this secret for thousands of years, until now, and how modern science is now proving what the world's first secret society has known for centuries. That once you charge these crystals, it will awaken your third eye and manifest abundance on autopilot. In fact, it's so effortless, the process happens while you sleep. The best part is this works for any human alive on Earth today, no matter what your situation is right now. Because the truth is, it's already helped thousands of ordinary people transform their entire lives and give them a fulfilling life of freedom and prosperity. But this doesn't have anything to do with the law of attraction, reciting silly affirmations, or writing in a journal every morning. Instead, it's as simple as pressing a button and going to sleep. And look, I realize the simplicity makes this seem a little too good to be true. But when you see the story of how this ancient secret society, the 9 unknown men, manifested abundance effortlessly, and the cold hard science that now explains exactly how they did it, you will understand the truth about how the flow of abundance really works. Allow me to introduce myself real quick. Hi, my name is Jake Parker, and the truth is I'm nobody special. I just happened to stumble upon the most incredible, life-altering discovery of our lifetime, completely on accident. In fact, when I discovered the secret that I'm sharing in this short video today, I was at the lowest point of my life. You could even say I'd hit rock bottom. At the time, I was a 35-year-old Amazon delivery driver living in the suburbs of Philadelphia with my wife and 2 kids. And while we never had much money, the debt and the arguments just started to add up over the years. So the downward spiral was more gradual than anything. If you're at least in your 30s, you probably get what I'm saying. As the years went by, I took on more financial responsibilities than I could handle. The worst part is, I'd see these other people from high school seemingly crushing it in life. Successful careers with their own starter mansions and a trophy wife to take on their endless supply of luxury vacations. Meanwhile, it seemed like I was always working more while barely scraping by. Maybe you can relate, because despite working longer hours, I could never get a handle on my spending or the mounting debt. This, of course, put a strain on my marriage as my wife and I were constantly arguing about money. The stress from all this began taking a toll on my mental health, and I felt trapped at my dead-end job. So I just kept sinking further and further into debt and despair. And I became increasingly isolated from my family and my friends. I felt like an outcast during Christmas and birthday parties. One day I noticed that my kids had stopped asking me to attend their basketball games altogether. Suddenly I was the loser dad, and yet all I could do is struggle to barely keep my head above water. Sound familiar? If so, you're not alone. Come to find out, this is the average American adult's existence. It's all too common, and yet most of us just go on pretending everything is all right. At least, that's what I was doing. All while I felt like I was losing the support and love of the people I needed the most, my wife and kids. And then, finally it happened. The straw that broke the camel's back. It was a few days before Christmas and our furnace went out. And just like that, we needed a $3,000 emergency house repair. Problem was, I maxed out every last credit card I had on Christmas gifts that year. So I was flat broke, and there was no way I would be able to get a new furnace for at least a month. When I broke the news to my wife while standing in front of the Christmas tree, I could see my daughter shivering in her footed pajamas, and my heart broke as she looked up at me with fearful eyes and said, "Daddy, I'm freezing." That's when I noticed her lips were starting to turn blue. And that was it. My wife said she couldn't do it anymore, so she packed up the kids right then and there and left. On her way out, she told me she was filing for divorce because she and the kids deserved better. The worst part is, she was right. I'd failed as a husband and as a father. And while that was the worst, most shameful day of my entire life, I never would have discovered this ancient secret that I'm sharing with you today if that day hadn't come. because it was when I was at my lowest point that sparked the decision to take a journey across the globe. I needed to do something to save my marriage and be the man my family needed me to be, the man I promised them I'd be. So, right around that time, some weird things started to happen. And looking back, I realized it was the hand of the universe that was guiding me along the way. The same gentle hand the universe used to guide you to this video today. Because the very next day, I got a call from an old college buddy completely out of the blue. He said that he had a plane ticket to India for that week but couldn't make the trip. And since he couldn't get a refund on his ticket, he figured he'd see if I could go. The timing of it just seemed a little too crazy to pass up. So I took it as a sign from the universe that I should go find myself and reset. I was always fascinated by the stories of the Beatles and the Beach Boys going to India anyway. Besides, I had nothing going for me at home. The last thing I wanted to do is sit in my cold house all by myself surrounded by photos of the family I'd lost. So the next thing I knew, I was landing in India. When I first arrived, I was struck by the vibrant colors, the bustling streets, and the exotic smells of the new, invigorating land. I spent my first couple days wandering around, soaking up the culture and trying to find my bearings, until one day I was brave enough to venture a bit outside of the crowded city, and I'll never forget when I stumbled across this old, unassuming temple down a random side street. The crazy part is how the universe led me there. The only reason I wandered down that narrow alleyway was because I saw a beautiful and unique-looking butterfly. It appeared to have eyes on its wings, and so I followed it down the alleyway trying to get a better look. And that butterfly led me straight to the temple. There, an older man with a shaved head greeted me and said his name was Rohit. He seemed to be happy to see me and said that he rarely saw Westerners venture to the far-flung temple. We chatted a bit, and then Rohit looked me firmly in the eye and asked why I'd come to India. It felt like he could read my soul and knew something was wrong. So I just spilled my guts to him right then and there. I told him everything about how I'd been struggling for years, and how it all came to a boiling point when our furnace died and my wife took the kids and left. I told him just how ashamed I felt about not being able to provide for my family the way a real man is supposed to. When I finished telling Rohit everything, he smiled at me warmly. He said he could see the stress and agony on my face. Then he said something that completely caught me off guard. "I've been waiting for you," he whispered softly. And that as soon as he saw me, he knew I was the one the universe sent for him to help. I just stared at him wide-eyed, not really knowing what to think. Being from Philly, I'm usually a pretty skeptical dude and generally trust no one. But there was just something about this guy. Then he said he had a secret to share with me. But first, he needed to explain a couple things. And that's when he told me the wildest, most unlikely story I'd ever heard. You see, Rohit was part of India's own ancient Illuminati. In fact, it's the oldest secret society on Earth, called the 9 Unknown Men. This powerful secret society has actually been around since 273 BC and was founded by King Ashoka, the greatest of all emperors. And the 9 men in this secret society were the brightest, most brilliant minds in all of India. These were the men assigned to study science, technology, and spirituality, and to create theories based on their work. Each man had his own area of expertise that he was responsible for. And get this, one of their palm leaf manuscripts from thousands of years ago contains information about the planets, the different kinds of light, heat, color, and electromagnetic fields. In a minute, I'll tell you why that last one is so important. Thing is, all their discoveries and advanced knowledge were all kept secret, as the emperor was afraid that if the public got hold of this powerful information, that they would use it for selfish or evil purposes. So, to preserve and record all this knowledge, the emperor had each of the 9 unknown men write a secret book outlining all their supreme knowledge. But it didn't end with the original 9. This tradition has been going on for centuries now. When one of the 9 unknown men becomes ill or passes away, another man is chosen to take his place. Kind of like how the Templar Knights and other secret societies operate. But the rule is there is never more than 9 at any given time. So here's the thing. India is the birthplace of meditation. But have you ever stopped to think about why? If so, I can guarantee you your answer is wrong. Because the truth actually stems from a secret the 9 unknown men discovered and then hid away for centuries. The crazy thing is, these days, meditation isn't even used for the same purpose or same reasons it was originally designed for. Remember that palm leaf manuscript I was telling you about that talked about electromagnetic fields? Well, that one original member of the Nine was responsible for researching and developing a method to manifest abundance. And the crazy part is, he actually did find a way to do exactly that. What's even crazier is that modern science is now confirming what the 9 unknown men knew thousands of years ago, that it is possible to manifest abundance into your life on autopilot, and that your brain comes pre-wired with the ability to manifest abundance. Now pay attention because I'm going to briefly explain how this works. So here's the thing. We all have something buried in the middle of our brains called the pineal gland. And as you may know, the pineal gland is often referred to as our third eye. If you haven't heard this before, you might think it sounds a little crazy. But humans have known about the pineal gland for centuries. Greek physician and philosopher Galen studied and named the pineal gland over 2,000 years ago. And pretty much everyone has heard of the mystical third eye that all humans supposedly possess. Just about every religion on earth references the third eye. Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Christianity. The third eye chakra, also known as ajna, is considered to be the 6th chakra in the body. And when your third eye is activated, you open up your connection to the spiritual world, which is where all the abundance in the universe is hidden. And that's exactly why so few people in modern times are able to access the abundance the universe has waiting for us. Because the third eye in 99% of humans alive today simply isn't awakened. Truth is, we've kind of lost our way over time. People simply don't value spirituality the way they used to. And frankly, this is not an accident. The powers that be have indoctrinated us with a new way of thinking that benefits them, such as the original emperor, shadow governments, and other Illuminati-type organizations. So now everyone is brainwashed to believe that hard work is the key to earning your way to abundance, and that trying to manifest any type of abundance is considered lazy, which is exactly the opposite of how the universe intended things to be, and the opposite of how our bodies are pre-wired. But the top 0.01% have created this system to work in their favor, while keeping the rest of us slaves in their game. However, modern science is now revealing some earth-shattering research about our pineal gland, aka our third eye. Mainstream scientists say our pineal gland is used for creating melatonin and DMT, but researchers recently discovered that we have tiny microcrystals inside of our pineal gland, and these microcrystals are very sensitive to electromagnetic energy. So what researchers are discovering is something called the calcite effect. Simply put, the calcite effect is the ability of some materials to generate an electric charge when they are squeezed. So when you apply pressure and squeeze the microcrystals that are inside your pineal gland, it literally creates an electrical charge. Okay, so why is this important? Well, that electrical charge is how you awaken your third eye. It's not nearly as complicated or difficult as many of us have been led to believe. And when your third eye is awakened, your subconscious makes a connection with the spiritual world, where its job is to identify the abundance that the universe has in store for you. The abundance the universe has already prepared for us. Because the truth is, we don't have to create it, attract it, or even know how it works. In fact, you don't even know it's happening because this is all taking place in the background. So you're not consciously doing any work. And on the outside, it seems like abundance is just flowing into your life with no explanation. But those in the know realize it's the third eye that's doing all the work subconsciously. All you have to do is awaken it. But there's only one problem. How do you squeeze the microcrystals that are buried inside the middle of your skull? And that is the million-dollar question, my friend. So here's the thing. Way back in ancient times, because of the research of the original 9 unknown men, spiritual leaders had discovered how to awaken their third eye, and they squeezed the microcrystals in their pineal glands when they combined the power of meditation with specific chants, because chanting causes the tetrahedron bone in your nose to resonate, vibrate. And the wavelengths, aka vibrations, from the chanting is what squeezes or stimulates the pineal gland. And that is what creates the calcite effect I was talking about. Because once the calcite effect happens, your third eye is awakened. Which sounds pretty simple, right? But here's the problem. Your tetrahedron bone needs to vibrate at a very specific frequency to squeeze the microcrystals inside your pineal gland. And learning how to chant in the exact way to produce those specific vibrational frequencies has been one of the most closely guarded secrets of the 9 unknown men. But here's the kicker. It used to take up to 10 years inside of secret monasteries to train to be able to chant in this very specific frequency. And now that modern technology has corroded our brains and our spirituality, it's nearly impossible to do this with meditation and chanting anymore. The ironic part is that while modern science is kind of the cause of our problems, it's also come full circle and is now helping us regain the power to awaken our third eye like we used to be able to do centuries ago. Here's what I mean. We know that the power of vibrations makes our tetrahedron bone resonate, vibrate, and that creates the electrical charge that awakens your third eye. So one of the modern-age 9 unknown men thought, hey, what if we were to replicate these very specific vibrations through another way? What if instead of meditation and chanting, we simply create a sound wave that matches the exact frequency that ancient spiritual leaders used to chant at? Thanks to incredible advances in audio engineering, he figured we could do just that. So now the 9 unknown men, and the few people privy to their secrets, simply listen to these specific audio frequencies created inside their secret lab deep in the Himalayas. And the sound waves from these frequencies automatically squeeze the microcrystals inside your pineal gland, thus awakening your third eye, which means you'll attract all of the universe's abundance into your life without even trying. Because again, when your third eye is activated, it does all the work for you on a subconscious level. And while Rohit said he'd love to share these audio frequencies with me, not even he knows what they are. To be extra safe, the specifics are written in ancient Sanskrit code, just in case they fall into the wrong hands. So unless I could break the code, there's no real way to know what the specific sound frequencies really are. But the code was right here on the palm leaf scrolls that I could see with my own 2 eyes. So I took out my phone and snapped a picture real quick. Even though I didn't know what to do with it yet, I knew I had to do something with this info. A few days later, I landed back in Philadelphia. I had these ancient codes to decipher, but no idea where to start. But then the universe intervened again. Because on the train back to the suburbs, I sat next to a fellow doing a Sudoku puzzle. I'd never actually played Sudoku, so I struck up a conversation with him. I said that I'd never tried Sudoku because I hated math. So the man proceeded to tell me that Sudoku was a logical problem-solving game, no math involved, and that all you had to do was to identify patterns and play accordingly. Jokingly, I said I had a code that needed to be figured out, and the man asked if he could take a look. I was a little taken aback but figured, hey, what could it hurt? So I showed the man the picture of the code on my cell phone and he started jotting down notes. I only had 10 minutes until my stop, so I really wasn't expecting much. And then the man quietly said something right at the stop before mine. He handed a piece of paper to me and said, "Here you go." I sat there with my jaw on the ground, just looking at the man dumbfounded. He yawned, looking bored as ever, and said, "It wasn't that challenging anyway." And then I arrived at my stop, never to see this stranger again, thinking to myself, if he only knew what he just cracked. So I immediately called up my buddy who has a recording studio in Philly. At first he was taken aback by how specific the frequencies were, but told me he could have them produced in just a few days. And when he emailed them to me, I could barely contain my excitement. I immediately popped my earbuds in and listened to the frequencies for hours. I did this every day for a week, and well, nothing happened. In fact, my old truck broke down because of a bad alternator, and then I got a parking ticket because I had to leave it parked in the city overnight. On top of that, I got a case of food poisoning and had to make a trip to the ER, which earned me a $2,000 bill. So safe to say, I hadn't awakened my third eye and was not manifesting any sort of abundance. And frankly, I was sick of it all. These audio frequencies clearly weren't doing anything. It seemed like Rohit and the whole 9 unknown men was all just a load of BS. But then, while eating some cheap Chinese takeout one night, I received a nudge from the universe. When I opened my fortune cookie, the message read, "Give it one more shot." I have no idea what that would be referring to other than the audio frequencies. But am I really going to take this fortune cookie seriously? I was over the whole thing already, and I planned on watching the Flyers hockey game anyway. But when I went to turn on the TV, the cable was out. So finally I said, screw it, I'll give it one last shot. I sat on my couch, put my earbuds and pressed play. Next thing I knew, the sun was pouring through my bedroom window and it was morning time. Somehow, I'd managed to fall asleep on the couch with my earbuds in. Luckily, I still made it to work on time, where my boss was waiting for me. Oh no, I thought to myself, what now? But as it turns out, my boss was giving me a promotion, which came with a cushy office and a 60% pay raise. And then when I went to lunch to celebrate that day, a random stranger paid my bill to pay it forward. Then to top it all off, I found a $100 bill in the parking lot walking back to my car, and I had to wonder, had I awakened my third eye? And if so, why now after trying so many times before? And it hit me. I listened to the audio frequencies while I fell asleep. Could that make the difference? I remembered Rohit saying the third eye was actually something buried deep in our skull called the pineal gland. So I hopped on Google and did some research. And what I saw all but confirmed it. Your pineal gland is most active when you're sleeping. This must be why listening to the audio frequencies when I fell asleep worked when it didn't before. I decided to fall asleep listening to the track for the next few nights. And what happened was nothing short of amazing. First, I met a guy at a diner who wanted to partner up with me, so I could head up the delivery division of this growing distribution company. By the time lunch was over, he was convinced I was the man for the job. And just like that, I was a business partner in a 7-figure business. But the kicker was the phone call I called on Friday afternoon. It was from my wife. She said she'd been thinking about things and decided to give our marriage another shot. The crazy part is, I hadn't even told her about all the money I'd come into since we'd last spoken. So needless to say, it seemed like I'd awakened my third eye. But would it work for other people, though? I decided to let my brother Jeremy give it a try. He was kind of an awkward guy who never had luck with ladies and had worked at Home Depot for 11 years. And within weeks, Jeremy had a smoking hot girlfriend, way out of his league, and hit the PA state lotto for $750,000. So I let other family members and a few close friends try the audio frequencies, and one by one, abundance is starting to pour into their lives, seemingly out of nowhere. And after I saw this happen over and over and over, I knew I had something on my hands. But what I didn't understand is why anyone would want to keep it a secret. It seems to me that humanity would benefit as a whole if everyone had access to this life-changing power that is already sitting inside them at this very moment. So I made the bold decision that led to you seeing this video today, because I knew I had to get this out into the world. And it brings me so much joy to introduce you to the ancient Illuminati code. It's the one and only audio frequency that simulates the secret method for awakening your third eye effortlessly, all so you can attract abundance into your life on autopilot. And unlike all the hi-fi garbage that all the wealth gurus are trying to sell you, this is a proven method that's been used for thousands of years by the oldest and most powerful secret society on Earth, the 9 Unknown Men. The best part is that using the ancient Illuminati code is completely effortless on your part, which means you will finally be leaving the rat race the top 1% has designed to keep you trapped. Because as you know by now, the modern system was designed to be a financial hamster wheel that you can never escape, which is exactly why this powerful method has been kept a secret for thousands of years. I know what that life is like, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And it's certainly not what I want for you, which is why I'm just beside myself that I get to share the ancient Illuminati code with you today. After all, the ability to manifest abundance is already sitting inside you right at this very moment. So why wouldn't you join the thousands of other people who've used the ancient Illuminati code to change the entire trajectory of their entire life? Everyday, normal folks just like you. Like Janet from Toledo, Ohio, who told us, "For years I thought, is this all there is to life? Waking up every morning to go to a job I hate? Working for an ungrateful boss that's always harassing me and doesn't appreciate me. And after years of hard work, I still had nothing to show for it. Then one day a friend sent me an email talking about something called the ancient Illuminati code. And it just made sense. So after giving it a shot, my life has changed drastically. Now I don't have a job at all and travel all around the globe instead. I only wish I'd discovered the truth sooner." Or Brandon from San Diego, California. "To be honest, I thought the whole manifestation thing was BS. After all, how many times have you heard the lies about the law of attraction stuff? But when I saw the video about the ancient Illuminati code, I knew it was different. After all, modern science is now proving what this ancient secret society has known for centuries, that we come pre-programmed to manifest abundance. And this was the key to me leaving my landscaping job to live on the California coast full-time. All I can say is do not pass this opportunity up. And then there's Maggie from Pinson, Alabama. I feel like I've half a lifetime in a fog. I was just going through the motions and living a life that I secretly hated. And I thought that was all normal until I discovered the ancient Illuminati code. Now I spend each day as I please. Gaining financial freedom has changed my life more than I ever thought it would. And now that I don't have to worry about slaving my life away for money anymore, I finally feel a sense of peace. I only wish everyone could experience this feeling, because we aren't meant to be miserable lemmings working to make a few billionaires rich. Okay, so I know you're excited to use the ancient Illuminati code to change your life. Which brings me to one of my favorite topics, how to actually use the ancient Illuminati code. And the reason this is one of my favorite things to talk about is because it's just so easy. Here's what you do. Before you lay down to go to sleep at night, hit play on the audio frequency that's waiting for you in the exclusive members area. Remember, your pineal gland, aka your third eye, is most active at night. Lay down and go to sleep, and that's it. The vibrations from the specific sound wave frequencies will automatically squeeze the microcrystals in your pineal gland. This makes them electrically charged, which is how you awaken your third eye. And once you do, you'll notice that abundance will start flowing into your life on autopilot, which means you get to skip the years-long process of trying to master meditation and chanting. Pretty sweet, huh? But I just want to warn you about something right now. Because there are people out there who are not happy that this powerful method is being released to the public. And they are trying their best to shut this website down. In fact, they've gone so far as to hire hackers off the dark web to try and crash this site. All I've got to say is don't underestimate just how badly the 1%ers want to keep a stranglehold on the world's wealth. So if you even think you might want to harness the power of the ancient Illuminati code, I urge you to claim your copy today while this website is still up and active, because the truth is, I have no idea how much longer I'll be able to fight them off. And look, I want to share something deeply personal with you real quick. I've made this my life mission. Right now, my #1 goal is to get this out to as many people as I possibly can. I remember how horrible it felt to struggle every day, to wake up miserable and not enjoying your one shot at life. But now I realize it doesn't have to be this way. And I want to change as many lives as I can while I still have the chance. So this isn't about money for me. It's about my why, my purpose in life. What gets me out of bed every morning. Thanks to the power of the ancient Illuminati code, I have all the money I'll ever need. That's not a problem anymore. For me, it's about legacy and the difference I make during my time here on Earth. Which is why I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse today. Sure, you could ignore everything you've learned in this video today and go invest your money, if you have any extra lying around, in crypto. But you'll likely end up broke just like everyone else who tried it. You could go take out a $100,000 loan and start your own business. But the fact that 93% of businesses fail makes that option seem like a bad bet. Or you could do what society thinks you should do. Spend upwards of $75,000 to go back to school and get a worthless diploma. But just ask yourself, how's that worked out for other people you know? However, you don't have to worry with any of that now that you've discovered the ancient Illuminati code. And even though many people have told me I should charge upwards of $10,000 for this life-changing tool, I'm not even really interested in making money on this. So all I ask is you pitch in to help with some of the costs. That comes with creating high-quality frequencies, to run this website, to pay my customer support team, etc. Which is why you'll get the ancient Illuminati code when you pitch in a mere $39 today. And while that might seem crazy to you right now, you have the power to make this happen. All you have to do is click the button below this video right now. When you do, you'll be taken to my 100% safe and secure checkout page where you'll enter all the usual info. And once you hit submit, your digital audio tracks will be emailed to you in about 10 minutes. It's that simple. But this offer gets ever sweeter, my friend, because I'm throwing in a couple free thank you gifts to show my gratitude for you pitching in to help my cause today. Free gift number 1, Quick Shot Frequency. After testing out ancient Illuminati code on a number of folks, I started seeing the same request over and over again. Folks wanted a shorter version of the audio frequency to put on their phones and other mobile devices, and a surprising number of people wanted this short version to use for quick naps during the day. That's why I created a 15-minute version of this powerful audio frequency called the Quick Shot frequency. It's perfect for when you're on the go, and it's yours free when you get the Ancient Illuminati code today. Free gift number 2, Guided Abundance frequency. Here is another frequency I created after getting feedback from some of our beta testers. Turns out that there are quite a few people out there who really like guided meditations. And while the Ancient Illuminati code isn't a meditation, there are tons of folks out there who really just prefer a guided visualization with their audio frequency. And that's why I'm including the Guided Abundance frequency as a free gift for you today. It's another short 15-minute version of the audio frequency, but with guided visualizations added in. Just another tool for you to use if you'd like. Free gift number 3, Abundance Accelerator frequency. The bottom line is, every one of us is different, which means it takes a different amount of time for each of us to activate our third eye. But along the way, I discovered a frequency that accelerates the awakening of our third eye. And if you listen to this frequency for 15 minutes a day in addition to the Ancient Illuminati code, it will help accelerate the activation of your third eye. I call it the Abundance Accelerator frequency, and it's the third free gift I'm including when you say yes to the Ancient Illuminati code. All right. You get all 3 of those free gifts when you place your order for Ancient Illuminati code today, which is $502 worth of life-changing frequencies for only $39. But I didn't stop there, because I've gone way out of my way to make this a no-brainer decision for you today. So when you place your order from this website, you're backed by our 365-day 100% money-back guarantee. Here's how it works. Simply click the button below this video and place your order for the Ancient Illuminati code. Once you download the audio frequencies that I'll email you, simply listen to them every night when you go down to sleep. And I want you to do this every night for a month straight. Because when you do, I know that your life will change forever, just like it did for me and thousands of other people just like you. Because abundance will start appearing in your life with no explanation or effort on your part. Once you awaken your third eye, you'll never have to worry about lack of abundance again. But if for some reason that doesn't happen for you, simply call or email my support team and we'll refund you every cent on the spot. No questions asked, which basically gives you a chance to take Ancient Illuminati code on a test drive for an entire year before you decide if it's right for you. Talk about a no-brainer. So click the button below to make that happen for you right now. Okay, so I want to be blunt with you for a minute. The way I see it, you are at a crossroads right now, and there are 2 paths you can take. The first path is to ignore everything in this video and keep doing what you've been doing. But you and I both know nothing will ever change if you stay on that path. And you can keep going until you hit rock bottom like I did if you really want to. But now you know about another way, and if you take the second path, the trajectory of your life will change forever. And now that you've discovered this path, why would you stay on the old one? The choice is yours. So go ahead and click the button below and don't waste another one of your precious days on Earth. And again, I urge you not to procrastinate on this, because I'm not sure how much longer this website will be up. So take advantage now while you still can by clicking that button below this video. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for watching. Still here, I see. I don't blame you. We covered a lot in today's video, and I know you might have some questions. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some of the most commonly asked questions that we get about the Ancient Illuminati code. Question: I've tried other wealth attraction programs based on the law of attraction. They didn't work. What makes this one any different? Answer: this is not based on the law of attraction. This is a scientifically proven method that literally activates your third eye. And in the end, science is just proving Eastern spiritual leaders have known for years. Question: how is my personal information protected? Answer: we hired some of the best encryption experts on the planet to protect your information. Most of them have day jobs at the NSA, and they use 256-bit encryption technologies using Secure Sockets Layer, SSL, which means your info is 100% secure, backed by the best technology available today. Question: how does the guarantee work? Answer: When you say yes to the ancient Illuminati code today, you are doing so 100% risk-free, because I'm giving you an entire year to decide if you're happy with your results or not. If at any time in the next 365 days you feel that your life has not improved drastically, simply email my support team and we'll refund 100% of your investment on the spot. Question: how soon should I expect results? Answer: well, every person is different, so the answer isn't the same for everybody. Some have experienced massive results as soon as the first day. Others have taken months to fully activate their third eye. I recommend using it every day for a full month before getting too worried about it.